So welcome to today's talk. Today we will be talking about something that a few people have asked for, which is healing for excess fat. And I think for a lot of us, what's happening in COVID times is that we are also overeating, unfortunately. So we're going to talk a little bit about fat in general. This is, of course, based on my knowledge of fat and psychological impact. Okay. So again, it's going to be based on things that I've learned over the years through other people. One of them being a lady by the name of Louise Hay. So this particular lady, and there's a book by her called Heal Your Life. There's a book called Heal Your Body. And she basically talks about the fact that any ailment in the body is related to something. Okay. It's related to something that is psychosomatic for us. So in this case, she says that fat, or she says, overweight is related to oversensitivity. Okay, so in case we have, stuff here and there that we want to get rid of, then perhaps we also need to explore whether we are oversensitive people. Okay, then it also says it often represents fear and shows a need for protection. Fear may be a cover for hidden anger and a resistance to forgive. Okay, so I can tell you that when I was super, super overweight, which was about 72 kilos, yeah, I was having difficulty finding clothes which were, anyway, forget that. Okay, so what happens is that we sometimes perhaps become very afraid. So if you just think about it, fat, and you may, see, one of the beauties of looking at other books is that they tell us something and then we can use Master Cho's teachings to kind of understand what it is. So let's say, for example, if someone is afraid, okay, then what are they going to do? They're going to basically get under something. They're going to get under a blanket. If you've ever seen a child who's afraid, they're like very, very scared, right? So they're covered with something. So fat is a way of the body to actually protect itself. Okay, so when there's fat somewhere, let's say, for example, there's fat on our butt. That is because when we sit down on a chair, then we have, some protection, right? So similarly, what happens is that if you're emotionally upset about something, then in that particular organ or in that near that particular chakra, this is what I feel, is that fat begins to accumulate. So for a lot of women, I have seen, at least women in our community in India, I have seen people have thighs and hips, and sometimes even the belly, okay, has what we call deposits of fat. So the way I like to perceive this is this, that sometimes when we feel, and I'm sorry, this is a rough topic for some people, but if we feel, what should I say, sexually afraid, okay, then what happens is that the body's reaction is to create, what should I say, protection in that area, right? So this also applies to men and not just to women. But for people who have big thighs and big legs, again, I'm going back to this book by Louise Hay, which I find very fabulous. And, look at it more as a book study. None of this is a hand-me-down. This is just a something to think about. So here she says in the portion for fat on hips, she says lumps of stubborn anger at the parents. And at the thighs, it says packed childhood anger, often anger at the father, or she says rage at the father. It means we're very, very angry with our father. So, and then for the belly, she says anger at being denied nourishment. So what I've noticed is that for people who are angry with their mothers, the fat tends to accumulate in the belly area. People who are angry with their fathers, the fat tends to accumulate in the thigh area. People who are angry with both parents or a parent and it's not really clear as to which parent did what, the fat accumulates in the hip area. This is again my observation, and of course I'm taking hints from Louise Hay's book called Heal Your Body. And she also says one more thing, fat in the arms. So some of us have fat arms. You may have seen people proportionately, they're okay, but their arms are very thick. So over here it says anger at being denied love. Now, that makes sense because, when a baby is young, what does the mother do? The mother holds the child with the arms, right? So if a child feels they have not received enough love, then, perhaps the fat accumulates in the arms. Okay. So what can we do? Of course, in pranic healing, we have a superb workshop. It is called Pranic Facial and Body Sculpting. This is a workshop that you can do after you have done basic pranic healing, advanced pranic healing, pranic psychotherapy, pranic crystal healing, and then you can do pranic facial and body sculpting. This is a fabulous exercise to help you to reshape the body. Now, notice it says body sculpting, not necessarily weight loss. Okay, because I think a lot of us would like good shaped bodies. That's what we really want. Yeah, as long as the body is in good shape, it doesn't matter whether it's, overweight or underweight, right? That's my perspective. You may have a completely different perspective. But what I feel is that rather than focusing on loss of weight, we should focus on reshaping our body. So now the question is, how do we go about doing this? Like, till we get to pranic facial and body sculpting, what can we do? So of course we can do the forgiveness technique. Okay, so for those of us who have not even done one pranic healing workshop yet, you can start with the forgiveness technique. The forgiveness technique specifically either with your father or with your mother, or if you think, because some of us don't even think that it's related to our parents. It's possible that it's related to some male figure in your family, or it's related to some female figure in your family. It could be your grandmother, your aunt, or somebody like that. Okay, so just try and dig back a little bit into your childhood and try to think of who is it that bothered you, or where did you feel compromised, not taken care of, not loved, etc., etc. Okay, try to find that person and do forgiveness with them at least 7 times a day. So, 7 times we'll do the same prayer and do it about 3 times a day and just see if that fat begins to melt. Okay. That's again, this is something that everybody can do, even if they're doing body sculpting, even if they're doing other programs. Okay. If you've done basic pranic healing, then there is a protocol called stress and tension in the basic pranic healing book. You can start applying that on yourself. In the advanced pranic healing book, there are again protocols for, so, then you need to investigate what is physically the problem. Do we have diabetes, or do we have, high cholesterol? Do we have high blood pressure? What is the physical ailment that we have? Okay. Then using the advanced pranic healing book, you can start working on that protocol for yourself. Then we have pranic psychotherapy, where you can work on fear, phobias, and traumas. Okay. Once you're done with that and you've moved on to pranic crystal healing, of course, you can use any of the protocols using the crystal. Then you come to body sculpting. When we get to body sculpting, then you'll only be left with a little bit of work, because, by then you would have already taken care of the basic pranic healing level, advanced pranic healing level, the pranic psychotherapy. You've also taken care of, the power up healing that is provided by the pranic crystal healing workshop. Okay. So bottom line, forgive. Forgiveness is a beautiful tool. I will say for myself, I had a belly that just wasn't going. And yes, I did a lot of forgiveness prayers with my mom, a lot of forgiveness prayers with my mom. I remember when my healer, whose name at that point was Vidisha Bhattacharjee, she left the body in 2012. But I remember I told her, I was like, what do you mean? I have to do this like 3 times a day, 7 times? Like what? Am I not supposed to do anything else? So you know what she said? She said, are you doing anything else? Because sometimes, we are so obsessed with our food or with our fat or the way we look, we're actually not doing anything else anyway, not with concentration at least. You could be like, oh, I'm so fat. Oh, I need to eat. Oh, it's all like solar plexus related stuff, right? So see if you're willing to invest a few minutes of your time in doing forgiveness with whoever you feel is, again, see, for me, what I do is I read all this stuff and then I think, it's like, okay, who am I most angry with? Okay, let me work on that person for 21 days. Okay. And then once I feel that that's working, if it's solved, well and good. If it's not, get back to working on it again. Then I'll do another couple of rounds, or maybe I'll take a break and I'll work on something else. So forgiveness is something that I think needs to be part of our schedule. What I suggest to most people is that, 3 o'clock, this is something that Vidisha's mother, Kamalika Bhattacharjee, told me once. She said, you can look at doing the forgiveness prayer between 3 and 3:30 in the afternoon. The reason why that is suggested sometimes is because the Christ was crucified at that time. So since the Christ forgave everybody who hurt him, everybody who hurt him, he forgave them. So it is also called the hour of forgiveness. So I've also noticed that I find it easiest to forgive between 3 and 3:30 p.m. It doesn't mean that you only do it at 3 o'clock. Okay, you can do it any time of the day. But again, what I try to do is try to incorporate different things that people say And I try to put it into one little package where it makes sense to me, because like I told you guys yesterday, I think that I'm a little mental. You know, I like to put things together. That's just um, so what I would like us to do is to pick a time where you're going to forgive whoever you're going to forgive, and also do it sometime in the morning, sometime in the night, you know, whenever you feel like you're getting irritated or angry, or you're feeling angry with yourself. The other thing you can do is you can also forgive yourself, you know, for overeating, for not taking care of yourself, for having a, for having a particular craving or something like that. So how to get rid of cravings is covered in pranic psychotherapy, and in body sculpting. Like I said, we kind of rearrange whatever you have and make the body shapely. So suppose you want more stuff on your, on your arms, or you want more stuff on your chest or your hips, you know, we can reorganize the fat. This is what body sculpting does. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. Um, so this topic basically was requested by some people. So that's why we are talking about fat and pranic healing and how to get rid of it. And like I said, forgiveness is for everyone. Okay. So one more short thing, people are also asking about what to do about underweight. Now, underweight is a slightly different topic. We will have to talk about that in a different session. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we are going to do the forgiveness prayer. Let's do it specifically for the topic of the day, which was related to a little bit of fat. So I'd like all of us to work on forgiving our mothers, if that's okay. The reason for this is because sometimes I feel that when fat is stored in the belly, it is related to the mother aspect. This is again my interpretation taken from a book called Heal Your Body by Louise Hayes. I also have found it to be effective, so it's something that I've tried. You don't need to believe in anything that I'm saying. I'm just suggesting this as something that we could do. Okay, so let's close our eyes. Let's visualize our moms in front of us. And as you visualize your mother in front of you, even if she is not in the body, that's okay. Just visualize your mother in front of you. Try to think back on a time in your childhood when perhaps maybe she told you not to eat something, or you felt that you were not being given enough food. Just go back to that time, because that's what we're going to try and get rid of. Okay. And then let us see the mother in front of us. If you remember the scene, well and good. If not, don't worry about it. Let us say, Atma, Ma, Namaste. I, the soul, salute the divinity within you. I, the soul, respect you. I, the soul, forgive you for your lack of care, for not feeding me properly, for not giving me the right food habits, for overfeeding me, for underfeeding me, for not controlling my junk food. You know, whatever applies to you, because, you know, we don't want to make this prayer formal as much as we want to make it effective. So whatever you feel, because most of us blame our parents for something. So let's just forgive our parents for doing what they did. Okay. I forgive you. I also would like to seek forgiveness for my mistakes, for the times when I was probably stubborn related to food, for those times when you told me not to eat and I did eat, for those times when you told me to eat and I didn't eat, for those times when I overate, for those times when I underate. I seek your forgiveness for any trouble that I caused you with relation to food. Once again, look into the eyes of your mother. Visualize her in front of you. Dear Ma, Namaste. I, the soul, salute the divinity within you. I, the soul, respect you. For those of us who feel the love, you can also say, I, the soul, love you. If you don't feel love, if you're having some issues with your mom, it's okay, don't worry about it. leave it for now. I, the soul, forgive you for your lack of care related to my nourishment, related to food. I forgive you for underfeeding me, overfeeding me. I forgive you. I also ask for your forgiveness for not understanding what you were trying to say. I also ask for your forgiveness for the self-harm that I may have caused. And I also ask for your forgiveness for not understanding your limitations at that time. I forgive you. One more time. Visualize your mom in front of you. Dear mom, I, the soul, salute the divinity within you. I, the soul, love you, respect you. I, the soul, forgive you for all the mistakes you made with my food, my nourishment. Please forgive me for all the mistakes I made, for the self-harm I caused, for not understanding your constraints. Maybe you had to deal with the kitchen in a certain way. Maybe you had some restrictions on yourself. Maybe there were financial restrictions, emotional restrictions, household rules. I don't know. I forgive you. I forgive you, and I ask you to forgive me for not understanding your limitations. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. Let's also finish doing all the other blessings. So be aware of the crown, the heart, and the hands. Let's bless the financial targets of everyone on the group. Let's bless the health targets of everyone on the group. Let's bless the relationship targets of everyone on their group, especially their relationship with their mother. Let's bless everyone's spiritual targets. What we are doing is that we are going to utilize the law of karma. As we bless other people's wishes, they will bless ours, and it will help our wishes to materialize. Let's bless all the people affected by the COVID-19 virus. Let's invoke to the Lords of Karma to enable humanity to learn their lesson rapidly and properly. Let's invoke to the Buddha Kuan Yin for her compassionate, purifying light and her healing, soothing energy to extract, externalize, and raise to higher vibrations all negativity related to the coronavirus. Let's also invoke to the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, for divine guidance, divine love, and divine power, to be able to handle our lives in the proper way, to be able to help the earth evolve and to evolve with the earth, to be aware that death is not the end of life. It's the end of one life, but there are many lives, many incarnations, and many places to go. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. Gently open your eyes. So we did the forgiveness prayer 3 times in the session today, but when you do it by yourself, I would suggest that you do it at least 7 times and do it 3 times a day. So that's a total of 21 times. Okay, let's massage our face, our scalp, neck, arms, thighs, shin. Thanks so much.